the man from Philadelphia, terrible Tim Witherspoon.
Followed into the ring, Huey, by promoter Dennis Rappaport and the Witherspoon entourage. As we mentioned earlier, Tim was sparring with Anthony Hembrick for a couple of days here, both of them trying to get adjusted to this torrid heat. And it's no picnic in this ring tonight. It's very hot. Greg Gorrell is the last-second replacement for Ozzy Ocasio. And we'll go up to Jimmy Lennon right now for the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event of the evening. Papa Papa Dan Ibo Ibo Sekalian, Sakarang Kami Tampilkan, Achara Pokok Malamini. Alright fans, here we go. Harold Smith and Urban World Promotions, in association with FNN Sports, brings you the main event of the evening, scheduled for 10 rounds, as we present the big men of boxing, heavyweights in the ring. Introducing to you first, on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with gold lettering. Fighting out of Wichita, Kansas, his weight 93.4 kilos, 204 3/4 pounds. With a record of 22 wins, 7 losses, with 16 big wins by way of knockout. Please welcome Greg Gorilla Gorrell. And his opponent across the ring in our 10-round main event. He's on my left, fighting out of the red corner and wearing red trunks with white trim. Hailing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, his weight 103.6 kilos, 228 pounds. With a record 33 wins, 3 defeats, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is the former 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, terrible Tim Witherspoon. Referee in charge now to give instructions, Chok Limahelu.
Every bit the entrepreneur, Tim Witherspoon already dug up a sponsorship, Huey, in Indonesia from Bank Niaga, which oddly enough has a branch in Los Angeles. So the Indonesian bank sponsoring Tim Withers' corner.
As you see, the terrible one, terrible Tim Witherspoon, as we got the ring girl making a late appearance here, announcing that it is indeed round 1. You know, Tim Witherspoon is a gentleman who really has a world of talent, but has been caught in some contractual problems with his former promoter, Don King. Has really kind of waylaid his return to the top of the sport after losing in the first round to James Smith back in December of 1986.
Well, without getting into any other boxing politics, I don't think you've seen the end of some other contractual problems that Tim has. Some disputes over who has him right now. Of course, we're seeing Greg Gorrell in there. For those of you tuning in expecting to see Ozzy Ocasio, he was pulled out last second with a injury. Greg Gorrell took the fight on short notice, and of course is one in a line of many kickboxers turning to standard boxing. Troy Dorsey and possibly rumors of Dennis Alexio doing the same. Shaking his head, though, Huey, that Tim's not hurting him. What do you think?
Well, first 15 seconds, we'll have to see. The overhand right is certainly there, and the terrible one has all the punches. He always has had all the punches. There's just been a question about his ability to stay in shape or get in shape, I guess you'd say. And tonight he comes in at 228 and certainly would fight better, probably in the high teens, but we'll have to see what is next for him in the future months. We've talked to his promoter, Dennis Rappaport, and he's always got some info to pass along. We'll get into that. I'm sure
Dennis will after the fight. We'll talk with him, hopefully. There was quite an altercation between these two gentlemen at the airport coming in. Apparently, they flew in on the same plane, hadn't met, but when Gorrell spotted Witherspoon and going through customs, rushed up and pushed him from behind. All hell broke loose, and the Indonesian army had to intervene, and they had to bring in separate buses to bring the gentlemen to the hotel. They've managed to keep them apart since, but here they are now, so it's get even time.
Greg Gorrell coming in at a 204 and giving away approximately 25 pounds to terrible Tim Witherspoon, who's held the world title twice and looking for a third shot at it. There's a lot of ways he plans to go about it, but first of all, he's got to fight some top-ranked competition and win impressively. His last fight, I believe, against Anders Eklund, and Big Anders bit the mat. Excuse me, Jeff Sims at TKO 6, but before that, a very impressive knockout of Anders Eklund. When
I think Anders Eklund, that fight showed the punching power of Tim Witherspoon. I don't care who you are. He came in against a 6'6" man and knocked him cold. I was surprised Eklund got up. I was very nervous, actually, that Eklund wasn't going to get up that night. But Tim Witherspoon is an X factor in the heavyweight division. He's somebody that we're not really sure which one is going to show up. He gets in shape, he gets out of shape. He's had some interesting fights. One of the fights, by the way, that he had, his first fight after losing the title, he came back and fought Mike Williams, lost a very close split decision on ESPN. And that's the same Mike Williams that Buster Douglas went out and knocked out in 5 rounds, which gave you a little bit of insight into just how good Buster Douglas might be.
Tim Witherspoon now 32 years old, and you have to figure time is not on his side. He's probably going to make a move in the next 18 months or so, and I'm sure that's a timetable he's dealing in. Always been considered maybe a very talented guy, but as already just mentioned, in and out of shape too much. We're 1 round in the books, and both gentlemen is kind of feeling them way around the ring, and following Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali. Holmes fighting 2 2-round exhibitions and telling us after that if the money's right, he'll fight. But he's always said that.
Well, both of these gentlemen, though, I got to say, are looking rather svelte compared to what was in the ring before, and neither one of them are exactly in what I would call great shape. Tim has quite a weight advantage, though, 24 pounds on Greg Gorrell, and I got a suspicion that Greg Gorrell didn't even look to me like he weighed 204, but that's what the scale says.
There's a look at Greg Gorrell, and as we said, 5'11", a gentleman whose last fight of note really was against the super heavyweight champion of the 1988 Olympics, and that was Lennox Lewis, and he lost an 8th round TKO to him. So he's been in with some good competition, but I'm sure the Spoon is the best he's seen. And he's going after the terrible one right now in the 2nd round of a scheduled 10-rounder from Senayan Indoor in Jakarta, Indonesia. FNN Sports bringing you boxing and ceremonies and exhibitions, and it all coming your way today here on FNN Sports.
Well, Tim seems to be able to just move him around at will. Whether or not he can hurt him or knock him out remains to be seen. You never know. You get a slugger out of Wichita, Kansas, like Greg Gorrell. You don't know how tough he really is. Might have one of those jaws, might have a Tex Cobb type of jaw and just stay in there all night with Spoon.
Spoon trying to land some body shots, and Gorrell doesn't seem to have too much behind those punches. It looks like there are a lot of shoulders and arm punches, not getting his body, and the Spoon just kind of sizing him up, or so it appears right now.
Again, Tim.
Spoon trying to work that jab a little more.
There you go, up the middle now.
Gorrell acting more like a sparring partner, wants to lay back and take shots. Doesn't seem to be giving many. And he's somebody in the shape he's in this heat. He's not going to last long in this heat.
It is so hot up there that when you do these interviews with like Larry Holmes and Anthony Hembrick, it is stifling. The Spoon.
Gorrell's talking to him, Huey.
Yeah.
I can't quite make out what he's saying, but he's telling him you got nothing or something like that, I thought I heard.
Obviously a tough guy, nice guy, but looks like a little outsized and certainly outclassed.
Well, you got to give him a lot of credit. Took the fight on short notice when Ocasio had to pull out. Came over here all by himself. Sort of a loner, hasn't talked to many people during the festivities here.
We'll have round number 3. Stay tuned. Oh.
Touch him, Tim.
We have about 50 seconds to go here in round number 3. And you're looking at Greg Gorrell, who's already has a cut over his left eye, which we understand was cut in sparring this past week. So certainly no surprise that the spoon has opened up the cut.
Timmy's really toying with them right now.
Right hand, left.
Not wanting to
Right hand, left.
hurt the very outclassed Greg Gorrell. Too bad. I think this time could be better spent talking about who Tim might fight in the future. You know, you've got a situation in the heavyweight division where
we will come back with that information on the spoon after this. Stay with us.
Get him out of there. Get him out of there.
All right. Round number 3, and Greg Gorrell's cut was checked out pretty closely by the ringside physician, and we'll be checking in with promoter Leroy Irvin's defensive back with the LA Rams, who's now a free agent, as Tim Witherspoon works on Greg Gorrell, and you have to figure that this fight might not go too much longer, especially with the left eye cut pretty badly, already opening up. And nobody's really been hurt in this fight, and the spoon has been more in a playful mood, and certainly an engaging guy, one of the more popular figures this past week in Jakarta, making all the social events and making them rather entertaining.
Well, Huey, the awareness of the people here as boxing fans was really something else. And Greg Gorrell, delayed reaction, looking for a soft place to fall down, and that eye is really bad. Don't even bother counting, ref. I would stop it right now. There's no reason for this to go on. I think that's it. This fight's over. Gallant Greg Gorrell taking a fight at short notice. This fight stopped on cuts. The winner is TKO, and the third is Tim Witherspoon. And we'll pick up the conversation about where Tim Witherspoon's future is and come back here in just a moment.